Hello everyone. So for this second immersion, it was kind of semi-unintentional. I went to visit my biological mother over the weekend, and she lives in Bayonne. And Bayonne is a fairly racially diverse place. While growing up, certainly I certainly was aware of the difference between the racial makeup there as opposed to coming back home here, which is a completely different experience, particularly because my grandmother in Bayonne, someone who I considered like my grandmother, was black, and I got to experience that side of her family. So this past event was semi unintentional in the sense that I went to like an art event at the community museum, and the works there were just by students, youth, and adults within the community. So that was interesting. So as I was going through the event, I definitely noticed I was the minority, which clued me in first. And there was a lot of racial diversity, but it looked like it could be mostly mixed race. I started talking to one woman who looked to be like from India, or like, because when I started talking to her, I noticed her accent right away. But her eyes were really green, and so I first went up to her and I just complimented her on the fact that her eyes are beautiful. And we got to talking about, from there, very quickly, we got to talking about like the state of the world and how she was just concerned about the amount of violence that was happening in the world. And she was concerned for her children. And then we started talking about the students at Clifton who were suspended for trying to, like, making threats or trying to bomb the high school, and that hit close to home for her. And then we started talking about like the use of prayer. And so she was saying how like she's Hindu, but she remembers growing up and hearing Christian prayer in school, and how it didn't matter what kind of prayer it was, like it didn't offend her. She just was appreciative that there was prayer, because she feels like people aren't really grateful nowadays, and the students are so latched on to their social media and to video games. And then we started talking about the program that I'm in, this program, and just some of the stuff that we talk about, and how crisis is something that we discuss because it is a concern. And just the bullying in New Jersey, the laws, and we had quite a varied conversation. But when we started talking about this class in particular, I suppose, because I mentioned, what we were learning, and at first she seemed a little like confused or hesitant about it, and then she remarked on how it was a good awareness for us, and how she's been aware in her life, but shouldn't seem too eager to talk about specifics in that regard, so I didn't push it. And then we kind of went back into some more general discussions about the state of the world, as I said before, and that was basically the extent of our talking. So this video is getting really long, but it was a really good experience for me, like as I reflect back on it. Like I said, it was kind of unintentional. Like I didn't go into it thinking, oh, this is where I'm going to do my immersion, but I realized, oh, hey, I'm the minority here, and there's this person that I can talk to that seems really interesting. So just getting her perspective on how she felt things were going in the world currently was really fascinating. So that was my immersion this time around.